The CEO steps onto the narrow aisle, polished shoes clicking softly. He straightens his jacket, glances briefly at the crew. "Welcome aboard," the senior flight attendant says, voice tight, eyes flicking down. "Thank you," the CEO replies evenly, pausing to adjust his carry-on. Silence stretches, heavy, deliberate. A junior attendant leans slightly toward a colleague, whispering, "Is he really?" The CEO catches the fragment but says nothing. His gaze drifts calmly over the rows, noting micro-expressions, twitching lips, eyes that avoid his own. A tray rattles as someone nervously adjusts it. He lifts a brow but does not speak. The tension tightens like invisible wire around the cabin. "Seat 4A, he says softly, placing his bag with careful precision. The attendant stares, swallowing. The CEO's internal voice reflects, "They don't even see me as a passenger. They see me as a problem. Every glance a calculation, every smile a mask. Do you need assistance with that?" The attendant finally asks, voice low, almost a question to herself. "No," he replies quietly. "Calm," I manage. A stifled chuckle erupts from behind a magazine. Eyes meet briefly, flinch away. The CEO notices but does not acknowledge. Silence returns, heavier than before. Another glance, a folded hand, a tight jaw, hesitation. They are uneasy. "That is all," the plane hums softly. Someone shifts, nervous. The CEO settles into 4A, slow exhale, watching the crew's concealed reactions. No words, no confrontation, just observation. A final whisper floats past, "Who let him on this flight?" He meets the voice with a calm, unyielding gaze. "I'm here to fly. Nothing more." The crew stiffens. The air vibrates with quiet tension, unbroken, charged, a prelude to what is to come. The aisle feels narrower than usual. Hands hover over trays, fingers twitching. "You'll need to lift that," a flight attendant says, voice clipped. She steps closer than necessary. "I've got it," the CEO responds, calm, moving the bag without a glance. A stifled laugh escapes from behind a newspaper. Someone coughs to cover it. The junior attendant mutters under her breath, "I can't believe this." He hears it but says nothing. Every movement here is calculated. Every glance a test of patience, he thinks. "Do you need help with the seatbelt?" another asks, her hand hovering over his chair. "No," he replies evenly, sliding into 4A. I manage. A soft beep from a tablet draws attention. The attendant glances, frowning. The CEO notices the hesitation, the subtle flinch. "She's watching him too closely," the senior attendant whispers. Eyes flicker nervously across the cabin. Each glance at the CEO is measured, tentative. The tension tightens, invisible yet suffocating. The CEO's voice cuts the quiet. "Everyone okay back there?" "Yes." "Yes, sir," comes a rushed reply. He leans back, exhaling slowly. They think discomfort is power. It isn't. A tray rattles again. Someone steps back quickly. Silence hangs like a curtain. "Can we adjust the air vent?" a passenger asks quietly, ignoring the tension. "Sure," he says, watching the crew flinch. Small cracks appear, tight jaws, darting eyes. The cabin feels heavier now. No one dares speak. He sits still, composed, observing every twitch. The power has shifted quietly, and yet no one says a word. The silence itself says everything. A quiet murmur drifts from the back. "Who let him on this flight?" a flight attendant whispers, barely audible, but the words slice through the hum of the cabin. The CEO pauses, gaze steady, voice calm. "I'm here to fly. Nothing more." A tense silence follows, thick enough to touch. Someone shifts in their seat, rattling the tray table. He said, "Nothing," the junior attendant breathes, almost to herself. A colleague presses lips together, eyes darting to the senior attendant, who clears his throat. "You heard him," the senior says, voice low. "He doesn't react the way we expect." The CEO leans slightly, studying the reactions without moving a muscle. They think arrogance protects them. Composure reveals everything. A passenger coughs softly, breaking the brittle quiet, glancing at the crew. He's calm," mutters one attendant, tone hesitant. "I don't like it," another admits, whispering into her sleeve. "You never do," replies the first. voice sharp but nervous. The CEO adjusts his seatbelt, deliberately slow, letting every subtle movement register. Every glance they steal, every twitch, they reveal themselves, not me. The cabin feels smaller now. Eyes linger, uncertain. Whispers die mid-sentence. "Sir, do you need assistance?" A voice finally asks, faltering. "No. Thank you," he replies, measured. Voice soft but firm. The simplicity of it lands heavier than any argument. Heads shift, murmurs stifled. The power in the room subtly realigns. Unspoken yet undeniable. The attendant swallows, and the senior exhales slowly, a subtle acknowledgement that control has quietly shifted. Silence stretches again, but now it is different, weighted with a dignity that refuses to be shaken. The intercom crackles, voice clipped, unfamiliar. "Attention passengers. Due to seat reallocation, please move to alternate seating immediately," it announces. A ripple of confusion spreads through the cabin. The CEO looks up calmly. "What's going on?" a passenger asks, eyebrows raised. The senior flight attendant clears his throat, flustered. "It's standard procedure, sir." A phone camera lights up discreetly. Someone whispers, "Is this being filmed?" "Looks like it," murmurs a passenger, tilting their device toward the aisle. The junior attendant shifts nervously. I'll help him move," she stammers, avoiding eye contact. "No, I'm fine," the CEO says, measured, stepping slowly. His composure radiates, contrasting the crew's rising panic. Sir, you can't sit there," another voice insists, shaky now. "I'm a passenger. I'll sit where I'm told," he replies evenly. Eyes dart, whispers die mid-sentence. Cameras click, capturing every micro-expression, the tightened jaw, the faltering stance, the silence of authority unraveling. This isn't right," the senior attendant mutters under his breath. The CEO glances at him, unflinching. "Right and wrong aren't opinions here. We follow procedure, but this, we never—" The words catch. He moves, slow, deliberate, carrying dignity like armor. Each step highlights the crew's discomfort, their pride unraveling quietly. A phone captures the final frame, a flinch, a tremor of hesitation. The cabin feels electric, a public spectacle without raised voices, yet everyone feels the shift. The CEO sits in the new seat, calm, hands folded. Silence stretches, pregnant with tension. The crew exchanges glances, unsettled. Caught in a moment they cannot erase. And in that quiet, every observer knows, the rules have changed. He leans back in his office chair, eyes distant. "I don't understand why your concerns weren't addressed," a young HR associate says softly, fidgeting with a folder. "They were never meant to be," he replies quietly, voice even but heavy. "Excuse me?" The CEO exhales slowly. "Every time I raised issues, they were buried. Internal affairs, management, everyone played their part. Silence was the rule." A pause. The associate swallows, hesitant. "But surely someone cared." "Cared?" His laugh is quiet, almost bitter. "They cared about appearances, not justice. About protecting the system that rewards privilege." He picks up an old memo, edges yellowed. "Look here. Complaint after complaint, ignored, rewritten, dismissed, nobody faced consequences, ever." The associate glances at the stack of folders and reports. I didn't realize how deep it went." "You didn't. Most people don't. They see the surface. The meetings, the smiles, the titles. The arrogance behind closed doors that is protected. And anyone who challenges it, well, they're left to sink quietly." He pauses, hands folded. His gaze hardens. "I learned early. Dignity alone isn't enough for them. They respond only when their image is at risk. Everything else is invisible to them." A soft knock at the door. Another voice. "Sir, are you ready for the board review?" "Yes," he says, calm. "I've always been ready. They just didn't know it yet." Narration filters in. Every microaggression, every dismissal, every quiet injustice, these moments built a history. A history the world will finally see. And this time, it won't be silent. He stands, shoulders squared. The past lingers, but does not define the next move. A small group huddles near the back of the terminal, voices barely above whispers. I told them. I tried, a young employee mutters, eyes downcast. They never cared, another adds, voice trembling. HR, management, it all just disappeared. The CEO steps closer, unnoticed, observing silently. Each word lands heavier than any confrontation. No one listens anyway, a third voice cracks, the confession lingering in the air. One former passenger leans forward, hesitant. Every time I reported it, they said it was just a misunderstanding. That I was overreacting, a colleague exhales sharply. Microaggressions, small slights, it builds up. And nothing changes, the CEO nods imperceptibly, hands folded. They think arrogance shields them. But honesty, even whispered, exposes everything. I felt invisible, whispers another employee, voice shaky. Like the system is built to protect them, not people like us. A senior attendant shuffles papers, glancing nervously. We were told to ignore complaints. Just smile, follow orders. Keep quiet. Quiet. For how long? Someone asks, bitterness breaking through the tremor. The CEO watches, internal calm unbroken, absorbing every detail, every nuance. They cannot see how powerless gestures reveal their own fragility. Another voice whispers from behind a doorway, "He's different." He doesn't react. That scares them more than anger ever could. "Yes," murmurs someone else, barely audible. It's his silence. It changes the room. A pause. The murmurs trail off, swallowed by the terminal's ambient noise. Eyes meet briefly, a quiet acknowledgement passing among the group. Microaggressions, once invisible, now hang exposed. The CEO steps back, composed. The pattern is clear. The entitlement they relied on is brittle, fragile, and silently unraveling. A soft ping echoes from a laptop. The assistant leans in. "Sir, someone posted the flight footage online." The CEO doesn't look up. "Already? It's spreading fast. Views are doubling every hour," a junior executive mutters, voice shaky. "People are noticing. The crew, the comments. They're questioning everything." In a corner, a PR representative fiddles with her phone. "We can issue a statement. Damage control." "Spin it." The CEO finally lifts his gaze, calm. "Spin it? No, let them see." But the backlash, our brand doesn't matter. Justice does. Across the office, someone whispers, "They're panicking. Look at the emails, the internal meetings." A reporter on a call asks, "Are you aware of the video? It's going viral." "Yes," the CEO says evenly. "And it tells the story I've been trying to expose for years." The assistant hesitates. "Sir, the board is calling. They want an explanation." He nods slowly. "Let them watch. Let them feel the weight of their silence." The screen flickers. Comments roll in, unbelievable. How can they treat someone like this? Finally, someone holding them accountable. The CEO leans back, hands folded. Every microaggression, every hidden dismissal, now magnified. The arrogance they counted on is cracking under public scrutiny. A colleague breathes sharply. They never expected this to surface. "No," he says quietly, eyes steady. They never anticipated dignity could speak louder than arrogance. Narration flows. A single camera, a quiet observation, and the world watches. Entitlement exposed, privilege shaken, silence broken, and the reckoning has only just begun. The CEO sits at his desk, hands folded over a stack of papers. His assistant clears her throat softly. "Sir, the board wants a statement." "They're panicking." He doesn't look up. "Let them panic. We're not responding to fear. We're responding to truth." A junior executive hesitates, voice low. "But the public, social media, they're demanding action. People are watching." He taps a pen against the table, deliberate. "Let them watch. Let them see the rot they've ignored." The assistant swallows. "Should we prepare talking points? Guidelines?" "No," he says quietly, eyes scanning old memos and emails. "Prepare evidence. Compile the ignored complaints. Show the patterns. Facts, not excuses." Someone mutters in the corner. "It's meticulous. The way he's dissecting every detail. Patterns speak louder than panic," he says. "They'll try to spin, deflect. But every whisper, every cover-up, it's all here." A colleague leans closer. "You really intend to take this public?" Yes, he replies softly, and without theatrics. Calm, measured. Dignity is louder than arrogance. The assistant glances at a video clip replaying the flight incident. This could go viral again. We can amplify it now or wait. He shakes his head, a faint smile. No amplification. Timing matters. Strategy matters. Let momentum build quietly. Let the arrogance crumble on its own. Narration flows. Each memo reviewed, each conversation recalled, each faltered executive observed. He is building more than a case. He is crafting a reckoning. The quiet power of preparation is heavier than the loudest accusation, and the world has yet to feel its weight. The CEO closes his laptop, leans back, and exhales. Patience, he murmurs. Patience always wins. The CEO enters the press room, slow and deliberate. Cameras click, reporters whisper. One junior executive shifts in place, fidgeting with a pen. Are we ready for this? Another executive asks, voice tight. The CEO doesn't answer immediately. He scans the room, eyes lingering on hesitant faces, smirks faltering, pride cracking. Ready? He finally says softly. A senior flight attendant swallows hard. I think so. He tilts his head slightly. Think so? The room goes quiet. Only the hum of the AC fills the silence. Someone shifts uncomfortably, papers rustling. A PR manager tries to interject. We've prepped the statement, sir. Just follow. Follow? The CEO interrupts gently. I am not here to follow their script. We are here to reveal what's been hidden. Calmly, precisely. A murmured apology escapes from one executive. We didn't think. He holds up a hand. Thinking doesn't change the truth. A reporter leans forward. Sir, you expect them to... They will speak for themselves. He replies evenly, gaze steady. Watch closely. The executives exchange panicked glances. Their confidence falters, shoulders tighten. The flight crew bites lips, eyes darting away. Someone whispers, almost inaudible. He's unshakable. Narration flows. In every twitch, every faltered blink, the arrogance of years begins to crumble. Silence, measured and deliberate, is heavier than any shout. The room shifts under the weight of unspoken truths, and dignity speaks louder than any defense they could muster. The CEO leans back slightly, eyes never leaving the faltering crew. Let's begin, he murmurs, calm and unwavering, letting silence amplify the collapse around him. The CEO straightens, eyes steady on the faltering executives. Cameras flash, capturing every twitch. He takes a slow breath. Respect isn't earned by titles, he says, voice calm but sharp. It's owed to every human being. A PR manager swallows hard. Sir, they think power is permission, the CEO interrupts softly. They've forgotten accountability. The head flight attendant's hand trembles as she drops a folder. Papers scatter across the polished floor. She glances at the CEO, guilt flickering across her face. Why now? Whispers one of the junior executives. Because now matters, he replies, voice low, steady. Because silence has been too long. Watch closely. A champagne glass teeters on a table, forgotten, then crashes. Heads turn, eyes widen. Empty chairs sit like silent witnesses to arrogance undone. The senior executive clears his throat, voice shaky. We never imagined this. No one imagined accountability, the CEO replies. Not when entitlement is disguised as competence. A reporter leans forward. Sir, do you... I don't answer what is obvious, he interrupts, soft but piercing. The truth speaks for itself. The room stills. A faint cough, a chair scraping. The antagonist's jaw tightens, eyes darting away. Pride dissolves in subtle, almost imperceptible movements. Shoulders slump, palms clench. Narration flows. Victory doesn't roar. It rests in composure, in the unbroken gaze, in the quiet acknowledgement that dignity never wavers. Every falter, every dropped item, every empty seat echoes the collapse of arrogance. Quiet triumph outweighs all dramatics. The CEO steps back slightly, hands folded, eyes sweeping the room. Let this be the reminder, he murmurs, soft and final, that true power honors humanity, always. The office floor is quiet, the hum of fluorescent lights filling spaces where voices once dominated. A receptionist clears her throat, hesitant. Sir, They've started moving the teams, she says, lowering her eyes. The CEO nods slowly. Good, let the work find balance again. Let integrity lead where arrogance failed. From the corner, a junior executive mutters, barely audible. It's really happening. Yes, the CEO replies softly. It's happening because dignity doesn't wait for applause. It waits for courage. A janitor wheels a cart past, glancing at the empty offices, files stacked and labeled for reassignment. Looks different, he whispers to a colleague. Different? The colleague replies, it's quieter. Too quiet. Feels like the walls are listening. The CEO's gaze sweeps across the hall. Every quiet corner holds truth, he murmurs. Notice the absence. Watch how those who ignored it shift uncomfortably now. Silence is the loudest verdict. A former passenger appears at the entrance, shyly nodding. I just wanted to say thank you, she stammers. Thank you for noticing, he replies, voice measured, calm. Justice doesn't need celebration. It needs recognition. A meeting room door opens. Executives shuffle, boxes in hands. One clears his throat, voice strained. We understand the expectations now. You understand because you're seeing the consequences, the CEO says, soft but firm. Let this quiet be the lesson. Actions, not words, shape accountability. Narration lingers. No banners, no cheers. Only the subtle shift of space. The hesitation of formerly protected arrogance. The quiet acknowledgement of truth. The echoes of consequence speak louder than any celebration ever could. The CEO walks to the window, hands folded. A pause, a glance back, a nod to himself. Silence holds the room, full and complete. The office is still, only the faint hum of the air conditioner moving through the room. The CEO sits at his desk, scrolling through emails and messages on the screen. A voice from the doorway hesitates. Sir, people have been responding. Compliments, acknowledgments, they noticed. He looks up briefly, eyes steady. Acknowledgement isn't the goal, he says softly. Recognition is when it comes naturally. When it reflects truth, not fear. The assistant clears her throat. Some are saying, this is historic. That finally what? He interrupts, calm but firm. Finally justice? Justice isn't a headline. It's a state of being. A subtle shift that changes behavior quietly. He scrolls, pausing on a message. Thank you for standing firm. The courage you showed speaks louder than any press release. He leans back, hands folded. A flash of memory crosses his mind. Boardrooms, whispered dismissals, ignored complaints. Faces that smirked when he spoke, emails buried. HR nodding politely while doing nothing. His lips pressed together. Do you ever regret not fighting louder? The assistant asks softly. He shakes his head. Regret isn't in restraint. It's in failing to uphold dignity. Some victories don't need applause. They just need to be right. A silence falls. Outside, the city moves on, oblivious to subtle changes taking root. He closes his laptop. Sir, the assistant says, voice hesitant. Do you feel satisfied? He gazes out the window, sun glinting off distant towers. Satisfaction is irrelevant. The only measure is whether the environment now breathes differently. Whether the quiet has weight, it does. That is enough. Narration, in solitude, dignity endures. No fanfare, no celebration, only the quiet transformation of culture, the subtle collapse of entitlement, the triumph of composure over arrogance. Some victories need nothing more than truth to sustain them.